Yeah, I think for me, I just saw like a huge pull to be able to go. Well, first of all, we have property. So we have a house in Kula, which is one of the affected areas. And literally a half a mile from my house, there were houses that were burnt down. So we got really lucky. But Lahaina was obviously the biggest devastation. So a lot of my friends have been doing volunteer work at the War Memorial, where a lot of the displaced families were. So I wanted to just go and help people. I saw a huge rally in the community to help those that were affected. And at first, there wasn't a lot of government aid. So I felt like, this was kind of my calling to help my neighbors and help the people I know on the island. So I went there. We did a lot of volunteer work at the War Memorial, and then also at the area near Lahaina, where a lot of the locals have set up kind of hubs for people. So cook them breakfast, get them clothes, get them whatever they need. And it was really fulfilling to go help the community, and I'm really happy that I did it. Lahaina town is really small. The island's really big, and the rest of the island is open. And the biggest fear from my friends in the community there is that people will stop traveling to Maui because 81 percent of every dollar comes from outside of Hawaii. And so it's really dependent on tourism. And I think the overarching message at first was, hey, look, we need time to heal. Please don't come to Maui. But now we're getting to the stage where, okay, the families that have been displaced are now being taken care of. FEMA has moved in, and really the rest of the island is kind of suffering because of the lack of tourism. So I encourage people to go. If they have plans or they have a wedding planned, I would go. Obviously West Maui is closed. Give the respect to the people. Don't go to West Maui. But Maui is a really big island. So, cities like Wailea and Paia and Hana are all open for business. And so I think we're probably going to go there for my birthday. We're going to do a little volunteer work if there's any left that we can do, and we'll spend some time there. Yeah, unless he does. I think we told her I'm going to go help some families. There was a fire, and she's like, "Oh, Hawaii's burnt up." She's only 4, so her understanding of the kind of wildfires and all that is very new to her. So she just knew that I went to go help some families, and we want to also show her that side of life. We need to go help other people when they're in need. And so it would be a good lesson for her to do a little volunteer work too. Yeah, I think this is kind of the time when the babies are 2, she's 4, no one started kindergarten yet. So like, let's travel. Let's not get too tied down to school just yet. They're going to go to school for so many years. It's like, so yeah, I think we have trouble. We drop her off, and then if we feel she's uncomfortable, or I don't know, it's so hard as a parent to know what's right. But we have so much fun with her, so we're like, hey, if you don't feel like going, you don't have to go. Like, this is the time when we don't need to push her too much. So if she's having an off day, we just pick her up. I think she is happy. I think it's important. She spent a lot of her early years COVID, like any other kid right now. And so for her, like, it's all about socialization and just getting used to making friends. And that's kind of the biggest thing, the biggest reason why we put her in school early. Just because she didn't really have that for the first, 2.5 years of her life. She was at home most of the time, and it was just us. So it is good to kind of let her make some friends and get out of house. I think that's really difficult. Lauren has her own opinions. I have my opinions, but I think at this stage, there's so little that those haven't really entered the fold. We haven't really thought too long and hard about public school versus charter versus private school. We right now it's kind of easy going because there's so little. So we aren't really parenting at that level yet to where we have people going into the teenage years that are very impressionable. So right now it's all very innocent and fun, so we try not to think too long and hard about it, because we know that will be something we have to think about in the future. But the landscape could be so different in 5-10 years. You just never know. Oh, traveling with 3 kids is obviously not easy. It's more of a trip rather than a vacation. A lot of people told us that. Not every day is a good day. There's some days where they're tired or jet lagged, and you just kind of have to have low expectations. And then when you have a good day and there's these good moments, it makes it totally worth it. I think for us, we try to plan as much as we can. So we have all their sleeping stuff from home, and we have all the comforts of home we try to bring, which made us pack 10 bags on our trip, which was insane to carry. But I think for the families that are considering traveling, I think you should just do it. It's so good for the kids. Although they're small, they might not really remember it vividly when they're older. I feel like they're getting life experience, they're seeing other places, and they're understanding that there's more to the world than just your neighborhood and your town. And I think that's the coolest part, is Leslie has now traveled, I don't know, probably to 10 countries, and she's only 4 years old. And I think that's so cool for her development. No, they're not. I explained to Alessi, like, there was a fire and some families lost their homes and we have to help them. And she's just, at that age, at 4, it's so sweet because she asks the most innocent questions, and she'll say like, is everything okay? Is the beach still there? Yes, the beach is still there. And just, she'll ask the most innocent questions, and she also has like full trust in us. So if we say, yeah, it's fine, we're gonna go there, we're gonna have a great time, she's like, okay. There really isn't any doubt right now because she's so little, and that's just the beauty of that age.